Welcome to my pre-questing guide for the Burning Crusade. This guide will get you all the way to level 61, allowing you to skip past everyone in Hellfire Peninsula and go straight into Zangor Marsh. And if you're able to complete every quest on this list, you could reach level 62. First things first, this guide is going to be completely free, so please help me out by hitting the like button, comment down below, and consider subscribing to help support the channel. I worked incredibly hard on this guide and will continue working on this all the way up until pre-patch. And the reason for this is there's a couple of quests on the PTR that are not giving the same experience compared to what Wowhead is suggesting. Some quests are giving more experience and some are giving less. So expect to see some adjustments as we get closer to the pre-patch date, but it shouldn't change a majority of the things I'm going to show you on this list. And lastly, I want to give a big shout out to my GM Mark as well as my Guildie FaZe. They helped a tremendous amount with this video and I couldn't have made it without them. Alright, here is the pre-questing spreadsheet. I'm going to leave a link to this in the description down below. When you first open this up, be sure to click File and then make a copy. That way you can make any adjustments, edit things around, and then fill in the checkboxes to keep track of your progress. First thing I want to point out is the additional quest items on the right hand side. Since you can only have 25 quests come pre-patch and 20 right now, think of these items as additional quests just waiting to be turned in, allowing you to stack up even more experience. This is where getting to level 62 will depend on how many of these items you can pick up. And right beside that, we have the reputation needed to complete all of the quests on this list. Next, I'm going to show you what I recommend doing to start stacking up your quest log, farming the additional quest items, and what reputations to focus on first. I know this can be overwhelming to look at, but I'm going to simplify this and make it as easy as possible. Starting with reputations, focus on doing your ZG, AV reputation, or Cenarian Circle first. ZG is by far the most important. Not only will it unlock a ton of experience, but the ZG shoulder enchant is going to remain relevant all the way to level 70, only getting replaced by the Exalted, Scryer, or Aldar enchant. For the additional quest items, the first thing that comes to mind is any of the cloth turn-ins. This will get you anywhere from 60 to 80,000 experience if you turn all of them in. Next, the Smoke Desert Dumplings, the 20 Twilight Text, and then something like the 30 Dark Iron Scraps, Savage Bronze, Core of Elements, Cryptine Parts, Bone Fragments. All of these quests will give you 9,000 experience each. They're pretty cheap on the auction house at the moment, and I really don't see them going up in the future. Now for the most important part, the quest log stack. This is going to be very different from player to player depending on which zones you've completed. The most important zones are going to be Eastern Plaguelands, Silithus, and for Alliance, the Burning Steppes. Now to show you guys my pre-questing list, I want to start by clarifying certain information on this guide that a lot of players are going to get wrong. Keep in mind while we go through this, the ones in orange are going to be alternative quest. The ones in cyan blue are going to be the 5 quests I pick up during the pre-patch. The main reason for this is they become significantly easier compared to how they are now. The ones in yellow are going to be the 20 quests that I'm holding on to right now. And then the dark blue is going to be a quest that requires a follow-up to get to that initial turn-in. Okay, so starting with the first set of things, make sure that you're on the right quest. Don't start on the second part or third part. Try to be on the very beginning so that you get the maximum amount of experience. The calling is going to be a quest that we're going to have to wait and see if it's going to be worth it. There is some RP when you turn in the first quest, and because of this, you're not able to complete the follow-up right away. And we know once the server goes live, there's going to be other players pre-questing, and so because of this RP, you might not even get to turn in the first initial quest. We'll have to wait and test this on the PTR, but I would assume we're going to skip this quest. Okay, we got 2 more, and then we can get into the pre-questing route. Next up, we have the Restless Souls. I'm going to be skipping this quest. It takes incredibly too long to turn this in. Starting from Lights Up Chapel, running to the NPC, and then you'll do the mountain skip. I'll leave a link to a video showing how to do that. Following that, you'll go run down to Darrowshire, turn in the quest down there, and then running to Nathanos to finish the quest in there. By the time you get to the bridge going into Western Plaguelands, it's going to take you a total of 6 minutes. Meanwhile, the player that's going to skip this quest is going to do all of what we just said in 3 minutes. You make the decision there. I think it's not going to be worthwhile to do this quest. And then lastly, I'll be turning in the Frostwolf banner. A lot of players will be holding on to this in their quest log, but I recommend turning in the first one. The reason for this is we can now stack an additional quest yielding more experience. You're only going to lose around 7,000 to 9,000 experience, and don't worry, you'll still be able to turn in all the follow-ups, giving you around 44,000 experience. And so the general idea here is not to be wasting a lot of time flying around or traveling to certain points. The longer you take pre-questing, it's going to eventually just be better to run into Hellfire and start questing or dungeon grinding. So with that being said, here is my pre-questing route. I'm going to keep this very brief. If you have any questions, feel free to leave those in the comments below. Alright, starting in Ashara and then working our way down, we're going to start by turning in the Molten Core and then the follow-up. You need Honored with Hydraxian Waterlords for this quest. This will take you around 3 Molten Cores to complete. After that, we're going to teleport to Everlook with the Engineering Trinket, and then turn in the quest Shy-Rotam. Next, we're going to complete the follow-up Past Endeavors, and then we're going to head to Timbermaw Hold. On the way over, we're going to accept the quest Winterfall Firewater from the empty Firewater Flask. As I continue working on this spreadsheet, I will be linking the additional quest items and how to obtain them. As we go through this, you can check off what quests you've prepared in your quest stack. As you check things off, there will be a counter on the right-hand side to know if you go over 25 quests. Moving on, we're going to turn in both Ritual Totem quest, both requiring neutral reputation with Timbermaw Hold. Next, we're going to turn in the 30 Rune Cloth if you're at friendly reputation, and then the 2 Moon Cloth if you are a tailor. After that, we're going to head to Moonglade and turn in Shrouded in Nightmare. This is going to be from the item, the Nightmare Engulfed Object. Next, we'll complete Umber Archivist and the follow-ups. After that, we'll turn in a Reliquary of Purity and the follow-up. Keep in mind you can loot the Felvine Shard without being on the quest. Next, we'll either Hearth to Fairloss if you need some additional quest, or we're going to Hearth straight to Silithus. We're going to complete all the quests within Cenarian Hold, complete Twilight Mysteries, and then any other quests within the city that we have. Turning in Noggle's Last Hope, and then we're going to make our way to the Deserter, which will be the cave all the way on the east side of Silithus. After that, we will complete the follow-up quests, and then make our way to Noggle's Satchel, accept the quest from Bronzebeard's Letter, turn that in, and then complete the quest, Breaking the Code or Glyph Chasing. Keep in mind you have to complete one or the other to get the follow-up, Unraveling the Mystery. And then after that, we're going to try to pick up the Scurrying the Desert quest. All you do is loot a sand off of the ground in Silithus and bring it to your faction's base. If you don't see one on your way back to Cenarian Hold, just move on and fly to Unguro Crater. Once in Unguro, we're going to turn in Willadin's Journal and Crystals of Power. After that, we're going to fly to Gadgetzan, complete a portable power source, and then whatever follow-ups we can complete here. After that, we're going to turn in the final tablets, and then whatever follow-ups we can complete here. After that, we'll complete the Savior of Kalimdor, and then the AQ40 rep rings. Ideally, you have Exalted with Brood. After that, we're going to get a Mage Portal to go to Thunderbluff or Darnassus, turn in 20 Unguro Soil, and then the follow-up. After, we're going to complete our Cloth turn-ins, and then for Alliance, you're going to complete the follow-up, Calm Before the Storm. Next, we're going to get a Mage Portal to Orgrimmar or Ironforge. This is where it's going to be a little different for Alliance and Horde, so I'm going to go over both of them very quickly. You're going to start with your Cloth turn-ins, go to the Dwarf NPC for Alliance and the Troll NPC for Horde. Next, you're going to go and turn in your tier piece, and then turn in the quest for Saving the Princess. For Horde, we're going to turn in for the Horde inside of Org. Next, you're going to complete your other set of Cloth turn-ins at the Gnome NPC, and then you're going to port to Stormwind. Now we can do the Head of Onyxia quest in the follow-up, as well as the Head of Nefarian in the follow-up. For Horde, we're going to complete the Calm Before the Storm, and then the remaining Cloth turn-ins at the Orc or the Human NPC. Next, Alliance players will fly to the Burning Steps to complete some additional quests. Once you've turned these in, you're going to get a portal to Exodar to finish the Cloth turn-ins there, and then Horde players will get a port to Silvermoon to complete the Cloth turn-ins there. After, we're going to get a summon to Lights Hope Chapel. Once in Lights Hope, you're going to turn in the pickup quest and then anything you have in your quest log. Plagued Hatchlings, the Great Ezra Grimm, The Flesh Does Not Lie, Dawn's Gambit, and then Above and Beyond. And of course, we're going to complete the follow-ups as well. Next, we're going to turn in the pickups that we have the items for, and then we're going to head to Darrowshire to turn in the Battle of Darrowshire and then the follow-up. After, we're going to run to Nathanos and turn in Ramstein's Head. Next, we're going to go to Western Plaguelands to turn in the Cauldron quest and then pick up Return to the Bulwark. We'll turn this one in later. After that, we're going to run to Skullomance and turn in the Butcher quest, and then we're going to run to Alterac Mountains to turn in the follow-ups to the Frostwolf Banner. Next, we're going to go to Hillsbrad to turn in Summoning Shadra, and then we're going to run to the Bulwark to turn in Araj's Scarab, Alas Andorhal, and then the Barov's Family Fortune. On top of that, we will also be turning in Return to the Bulwark and then Mission Accomplished. And then we'll fly to Undercity to do the Cloth turn-ins and then finish the follow-up, Venom to the Undercity. Alright, for the last two zones, we're going to get a summon to Ujamba Isle, turn in the Collection of Heads, the ZG set, the Neck turn-ins, 1 Bijou, and then the Heart of a Car if you have it, as well as the Hand quest, which will be a pickup. After that, we're going to get a port to Stonard, complete the quest Stones That Bind Us in the follow-ups, and then heading to Blasted Lands, turning in any of the pickups along the way, the Flawless Sphere, the Imperfect Fragment, and then the Blasted Lands buffs. And then we're going to pick up the quest through the dark portal and then turn in Arrival in Outland. And I see that somehow I missed 2 of them. I just probably didn't click them off. Yep, sure enough, there they are. And now that we have 25 quests, that's going to be the end of the video. Be sure to like and subscribe if this guide helped you out. Feel free to leave me any questions in the comments. And as always, I will see you next time.